Alright, so I've chosen to move Seoni to the wooden bridge. The woods are kind of dangerous. The waterfront is also a dangerous location, but it's actually dangerous for Valorous as well. So somewhere in the future I will have to move to the waterfront with Seoni, I think. She's much better at defeating monsters there, since they give -1 to weapons, or to every die used for a weapon check. But the wooden bridge is probably the best location for now for Seoni. It has some monsters, a barrier, and a henchman or a villain. And then you have 3 allies, 1 blessing, and 1 armor here. The specific rules for the location is you may discard 2 cards to evade an encounter, which is also good for Seoni since she has a huge hand size, but she's also kind of hurt right now, so this is a bit dangerous. And then when you have permanently closed this location, you can bury cards to recharge cards from your discard pile, which is an okay ability. But she will move here, and she will use her first free exploration to explore, and immediately that's a henchman. This could actually be good. Let's see, when closing, succeed at a dexterity or stealth 6 check. We could actually probably close this immediately. Let's see, yeah, she doesn't have anything to add to this, but she does have quite high dexterity. It's a D8 if I remember correctly, so she could use the Blessing of the Gods to actually... No, wait, we have invisibility. Discard to succeed at your stealth check. So I could actually immediately succeed at closing this if I can defeat this bandit, and this shouldn't be a problem. Let's see here. Before the encounter, recharge a card from a card of your choice from your hand. So we have to do that now. Let's not do the invisibility. That would be probably the choice otherwise. Let's recharge. Let's see. These are basically the same card, just different traits on them. So let's recharge the... let's do the acid arrow. So we now recharge the acid arrow here. And then, because of the scenario, we get to draw a card. If a monster forces us to recharge, we have to draw a card. So we draw Blessing of the Gods. Great. And then, because I really want to succeed at this, I think I'm going to use the Scorching Ray here. Yeah. So I'm going to use the Scorching Ray. Arcane die plus 2d6. That's a d12 plus 2d6 with a modifier of 2, and we only need 8. So that should be quite possible, I suppose. We still have guidance here, I think, from Kyra to help us. Oh man, that was close. That's a combined roll of 7 plus 2 is 9, so we just barely managed to do that. We can try to recharge Arcane 8 checks, so that's d12 plus 2, and that's actually 11, so that's fine. She gets to recharge, which is great. Awesome. Now this comes into play. If defeated, you may immediately attempt to close this location, which we will be doing. So let's see. Dexterity or stealth 6 check. We could gamble here and try to keep this invisibility by using our dexterity die plus maybe one of the blessings, which could be... Nah, let's just do it. Let's use invisibility. So we now use invisibility to attempt to close this, and we do close it because this is an automatic success. And then we can try to recharge this. Yet again, d12 plus 2, need an 8. And that's 6 plus 2 is an 8. just barely enough, but it is enough. Here we go. And then this is automatically closed, but now we have to follow through some steps. First of all, we have to look through this location to see if there is a villain here or not. And there is, well, there isn't a villain since there was a henchman. But we can, anyway, we can still see what's in here. And these are some pretty good items actually. I kind of regret doing this now. A large chest, which is great. 1d4 random weapons from the box. A specified blessing, which is pretty good. An ally, which is okay, I guess. With some goblin snakes. Another ally, which is well, it's okay. This guy is actually pretty good. Sheriff Hemlock. He adds to your combat checks and he only discards. Many of the allies actually banish, but he only discards. Elven Breastplate. It's also decent, but then we would have had this ogre, and this guy is bad. This guy's terrifying. So yeah, maybe it was good. I mean, the Hellhound and the ogre are dangerous, but the rest of the cards are okay. So yeah, we now get to banish this entire location here. So none of these, we don't get to keep any of these cards. It's both fortunate and unfortunate, I guess, since there were some chest barriers, some decent blessings, and okay allies in here. So yeah, that's something you have to. That's actually something you have to think about when you are trying to close locations. You could lose a lot of good stuff, especially this early in the game. I don't think that we were in any danger of decking ourselves, so maybe I shouldn't have done that, but yeah, we do have these fairly difficult locations left, the woods and the waterfront. So those are extremely difficult to get through with some of the characters, but now the wooden bridge is closed off, and it says when you end your turn here you may bury a card from your hand to recharge a card from your discard pile. So she could do that now if she wanted to, but I don't think I need to do that, and instead I will not be discarding anything. I will just be drawing up to my starting hand size, which is 2 cards, and that's Enfeeble and again the Potion of Fortitude that we had at the beginning of the game. So that was Seoni. Now move on. Blessing of Iomede for Kyra. Let's see here. She could try and help Valorous here by healing him, or she could again try to heal Seoni, so Seoni can actually go to the waterfront. And let's see, she has blessings and these, yeah, she will move to Seoni, and instead of her free exploration she will reveal the blessing of the gods to once again try and heal Seoni, and that's a d4 plus 1. Come on, oh my god, it's a 1 again. I'm having such a bad roll with these d4s. I hate the d4s. So that's 2 cards again. Slowly but surely we are healing Seoni, but it's a bit too slow for my taste. Yeah, would have been great to actually have like 4 cards or something like that. So these 2 new cards. It's a little bit fiddly here with the camera and all. I have to move around and... Oh, let's see. There we go. And then we turn the discard pile back up. And that's her turn. She could now discard or bury some cards to get something back. Does she have anything in the graveyard worth getting? Nope, nothing. So yeah, she will just be drawing another card. And that is Half Plate. Great. We already had one armor item. We didn't need another one. But okay, that was Kyra's turn. We move on. Again, the dexterity blessing is turned over, so now we have Valorous here, and he will troop on, continue with his exploration here. Take his free explore, and that's a Codex book magic. Check to acquire intelligence or knowledge 8. Discard this card to add 1 die to your check to acquire a boon. That's a pretty good item actually. I like that. His intelligence is a D6. He doesn't have knowledge. That's a subcategory of intelligence. Doesn't have anything to help him. Let's see. Kyra has 1 blessing, and let's see. Seoni has 2 blessings. Plus Kyra has the guidance spell. I think I really want this card, I think. I don't know why. I just want it. I want it for one of my other characters. I think Seoni has some worthless items in her deck, in her starting deck. She only has she has this potion that doesn't do a whole lot. So I think I really want this. The unmodified roll would be a D6. That would be an automatic fail. But I think both of the other 2 characters are actually going to play a blessing to add 2 additional D6 to this roll. The reason why I'm discarding blessings with Kyra, because she can heal herself, and as we can see she has 5 blessings and a mace. So pretty much any roll she makes, she will get 1 of these blessings back, but if we are lucky with her healing roll, she could actually get 4 or 5 blessings back with her healing ability. So let's see, let's hope for the best here. We need an 8, combined roll of 8 here. And that's just 8, great. 4, a 3 and a 1, just 8. So he manages to acquire this Codex, which is good. We will now, I think we will go on here. There could be a henchman here somewhere, but we do have a decent weapon to deal with the henchman. So I will discard the standard bearer to explore my location again. Ha! That is the villain. Oh man, that's the villain. Gibrail Whiskey. Before the encounter, recharge 2 cards of your choice from your hand. Let's see. I think that will be the short sword. Yeah, the short sword and the Codex. I will recharge those 2. And then, since this Bringandoom scenario has the extra rule that you get to draw cards when you recharge, when they force you to recharge cards from your hand, I get to draw 2 new cards, and that is a Spyglass and the Longsword again. So this is now Valorous' hand. 2 Longswords, a Chainmail and a Spyglass. The Spyglass is decent actually. You can add to perception checks or examine 2 cards of a location deck, which is pretty good if you want to scout ahead. But okay, that was the villain's special ability. Now we have to face the villain. He's a human rogue. Check to defeat combat 10. And I will now be using this longsword, so I will reveal this longsword to get my melee die, which is a D10 with a 3 modifier plus a D8, and I will discard this card to add a D6. Since this is Valorous, we get to recharge this card instead of discarding it. So these are now my 3 dice that I have to roll a 10 with. Well, actually a 7, since I have a 3 modifier. Here we go. Yeah, that's 4 plus 5 plus 3, that's plenty. That's actually 12 plus 3 is 15, so this guy is now defeated. The other two characters are at a closed location, so they could not attempt to close the other two locations. So now the villain escapes. Where does the villain escape to is the question, and I have to check the rule. Alright, so here are the steps that you need to take. After you defeat the villain, you automatically close the location where the villain was hiding at. First you have to check if there are additional villains in here, but they aren't, since there's only one villain in this scenario. And again we have this great barrier that we just missed, a treasure map. And the longbow +1, which is decent for the rogue and ranger, I think. It's not that great for the fighter. It's okay, I guess. You really want melee weapons with Valorous. He's much better in melee combat. But yeah, these now get banished. We do not get to keep these. Let's see, the weapons are here. So this is now automatically closed. You don't have to perform the when closing. And there is nothing happening at the farmhouse. We can take a look at the flavor text maybe. It's fun. Tall plants dominate the land around this otherwise unremarkable little farmhouse. High stalks and thick leaves turn the rows between crops into oppressive tunnels. Nearby stand the fields and muddy pens of various farm animals, though most are strangely empty. Between the fields and the house lie scattered farming implements, abandoned and left to rust. Great. This is now closed, and then the villain escapes. So you take the number of open locations -1 and add that many blessings to this. So just draw a random blessing here. Another blessing of the gods, doesn't matter. And then you should shuffle, but this, I mean, come on. I don't know, I have to keep doing this, like keep going back and forth and keep talking and look away and do something else. And now maybe I've forgotten which of these is the villain. But yeah, I don't know, I don't like this. I think the better, well actually yeah, you can't do much. You cannot do this any other way, I think. I was thinking about rolling a die, but then you know which pile the villain is in. Hopefully now I have gotten which of these the villain is, and we will just be placing these on the locations, and then you have to shuffle the location deck. And those were 2 untouched locations actually, so let's hope. And unfortunately these are also the most dangerous locations left, or the most dangerous locations in the scenario period. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate that we didn't have any characters there to actually try and temporarily seal these locations. Okay, Valorous. I think he keeps all of these. Maybe not the chainmail. I could. Well, no, it's good to have some redundancy with defense. I tend to play defensively. If you don't like to play defensively, just discard these at the end of the turn. But I like to play defensively, especially since we are going to these terrible locations from here on out. So I will keep all of these, and then I will draw a 4th card, and that is Valorous' turn. Alright, so we move on here, and my plan now is for Seoni to go to the Waterfront, since the Waterfront actually gives -1 on all weapon die rolled. So since she uses magic, she's not affected by that. And then Valorous will be going to the woods, and Kyra will be alternating between those 2 locations and trying to heal those 2 characters and help out exploring when she can. That's the plan. I just checked the blessings discard pile, and we are only We have only done 12 turns, so we have 18 turns left. And on top of that, Kyra actually has the Holy Candle item, which lets you reshuffle or shuffle back some of the blessings from the discard pile into the blessings deck. So we do have some extra turns, probably around 20 turns or so. So yeah, time is not that important, so we can take it a little bit slower and try to explore a little bit more. Unfortunately, these two locations do not have a lot of loot or a lot of boons in them. The woods have 2 items and 1 weapon, and the waterfront has let's see, 2 allies and 1 item. So I don't actually think it's worth doing that. So if I find a henchman, I will immediately try to close that location. These are not worth it. So yeah, let's move on. Valorous took his turn, so now it's Seoni. Again, a Blessing of Torag, which is non-combat strength checks. Seoni moves to the waterfront as discussed before. Let's take a look at the waterfront. At this location, when using a weapon, subtract 1 from each die rolled. After your exploration, you may discard 2 cards to explore again. When closing, summon and defeat a bandit henchman. They are not that difficult, so that shouldn't be a problem. On closing, all characters at this location discard a card. That's not too bad. So she moves there. I'll make some room here because I know that Kyra will be moving in and out here. So okay. Seoni will use her free exploration to explore here. Let's see what happens. And that is a Goblin Cut Purse. It's an ugly little fellow. Goblin Rogue Basic. Check to defeat combat of 8. Before the encounter, succeed at a Wisdom or Perception 6 check or bury 1 random card from your hand. That is bad. Seoni Wisdom. She doesn't have that much. She only has a D6. Oh man. What was it? Wisdom 6 check. Oh man. So let's see. The only card I actually really care about is Force Missile. Would be great if, well no, actually I like all of these cards. Maybe not the Potion. Potion is the only one I don't care about. But yeah, this is a bit dangerous. So I think she will use this blessing to add another D6, and Kyra can help with guidance if we only require 1 extra. So yeah, we need a 6 here, combined roll of 6. Ah, it's a 4. Damn it. Oh well. Cannot do anything else. You cannot add dice after you have rolled, so I cannot use the Blessing of the Gods from Valorous after I have rolled dice. I should have done that before if I wanted to. Okay, so again, the situation where you have to shuffle these. Let's actually do it like this. Let's roll a D8. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7. Ah, it's the guide. It's not that bad. Okay. Let's see. We have to bury this card. So here we go. Stupid Goblin Cut Purse. And then combat check of 8. I will use my special power of discarding a card to use my arcane die plus was it a D6 or D8? Let's see, arcane die plus 1d6. So that's a D12 with a 2 modifier and a D6. This should be enough to kill the stupid goblin. Still have the guidance here in case, but I've been falling too shortly. I've been failing the checks with 2 and not with just 1, so let's hope we are more lucky here. That's a 5 plus 2 is 6. Oh man, that's bad. Alright. Yeah, 5 plus... No, wait, 5 plus 2 is 7. I can't even count. Alright, so yeah, okay. Good. So then Kyra can use guidance. Discard this card to add 1 to a check. So now we get up to 8. So we just barely killed this stupid goblin cutpurse. I don't know why I'm taking so many risks. I don't need to do that actually. I have plenty of time, so I should have added extra dice, but I thought that a d12 and a d6 should be enough. Alright, well, she can try and recharge this divine 4 checks. So that's a d12, yeah, d12 plus 2. So we need a 2, and that's a 5. So she manages to recharge her guidance spell here. Here we go. And Seoni is down to only 2 cards. She cannot explore again. She lost the guide, which would have allowed her to explore again. So she now draws up to her hand size. Let's see. There we go. 6 cards. We got the mayor. Examine the location deck and then shuffle it. This could actually be good. I will do this next turn. Invisibility, blessings, and some attack cards. Okay, so that was Seoni. Now it's Kyra's turn. Turn over the turn counter. Now Seoni only has 3 cards left in her deck. We have to be really careful. So now Kyra will move to Seoni and she will... Oh man, I cannot even do that. I cannot even do that. I cannot use her special ability here. You have to reveal a card with the divine trait, and I don't have that. Well, that's it's unfortunate. Well, let's go on and explore then. She's mad and she will instead explore here. Yeah, she doesn't have anything else that's free. Nope. Alright. Grizzled Mercenary. It's an ally. Check to acquire Charisma or Diplomacy 6. She's bad in all of these, I think. Wait, she has a D6 for Charisma. I don't think this card is important enough to waste blessings on, so let's roll a hard 6 here. And that's a 4, so that's a failed. Ally banished. And she... Yeah, let's do this. We reset our hand, but this elven chain shirt says if you are proficient with light armors, and Kyra is, you may recharge this card when you reset your hand. So she will do this. Instead of discarding, she just recharges this, and then she draws up to 5, so that's 3 extra cards. Okay. So that was Kyra's turn. Now we have the Holy Candle, which is a great item if you need extra turns. We actually have 3 divine cards here, so that's good. Move on. Blessing of Iomide again, and now it's Valorous and he moves to the woods. Let's see, let's just make sure that we have weapons and such. So he could discard this to examine the top 2 cards of your location deck. Let's do that. So he does this, he discards, and he examines these. Great, so that's a blessing and a boar. Before the encounter, succeed at a wisdom or survival 7 check or the difficulty to defeat the bore is increased by 2. That's not that big of a deal. Well, let's put him like this. And then he will use his... Yeah, he will use... Well, actually, he's kind of low on cards as well, so let's not be too hasty with his him discarding cards. But he will use his free exploration to take this Blessing of the Gods, and this is immediately acquired. There is no check to do this, you just take it. And I think he will end his turn there, and since he is at his hand limit, he doesn't have to draw any cards here. So that's it. So we are burning through turns here now, because we are a bit wounded, and Kyra has to run around and heal us before we can actually take risks. It's good that she has this holy candle, so that we do get some extra turns doing this kind of stuff. But okay. Did I... oh, sorry. Alright, so moving on, it's Seoni's turn, and she will... Yeah, I will actually use this Mayor Kendra Deverin card. She will not move, or she will stay in this location. She will not give cards to... Well, actually, I could give... Well, no. Yeah. There's only one divine card, and Kyra already has 3 divine cards, so she doesn't need it. But she will use the Mayor here. Banish this card to examine your location deck and then shuffle it. So let's take a look at this location deck, see if there's anything worthwhile in here, and if the villain is here or not. Oh, there's a large chest immediately. A ghoul, pretty dangerous. Giant gecko, potion of ruggedness, not that good. Pit of Malfeshnikor. Okay. Draw 3 items from the box. You may choose one and add it to your hand. Banish any not chosen. If you added one to your hand, each character at this location is dealt 1d4 plus 1 fire damage. Well, that's okay. Night Watch, the villain, obviously. Goblin War Chanter, and the Bandit. Okay. So yeah, there are 2 cards worth getting here, the large chest and the pit, and then all of the other cards are bad cards, but the villain is here, so we actually have to get through this deck at some point. The question now becomes, let's see, Wisdom or Survival 6 to temporarily close the woods, which is bad for almost it's bad for almost all of my characters, except I think Seoni could actually do this with Wisdom. But okay, she will now use her, yeah, she will explore. Free exploration, and that is the Pit of Malfeshnikor. Draw 3 items from the box. You may choose one. Doesn't say random. That's strange. It doesn't say random. Can I choose what items I want to take? I don't think so. I think this is random. It's just a weird wording. Basically you see the top item of the deck anyway, so I'm gonna shuffle this and then just draw 3 at random, see what we get. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. See? Wand of Force Missile. For your combat check, bury this card to roll 4d4 with the arcane and force traits. Okay. Cape of Escape. Bury this card to move or to evade an encounter and then move. You automatically succeed at any check required to move. Okay. Potion of Gracefulness. Banish this card and choose a character at your location to succeed at an acrobatics check. I don't think any of these are worth taking fire damage over. Maybe the cape. Nah, there are two characters here, so I will just choose not to take any of these. And then if you added one to your hand, and we didn't do that, so then we just banish this pit here. So now there's basically a treasure chest left in that deck that I want. Everything else is crappy. So I will not be doing any further explorations since Seoni is almost dead. She only has 3 cards, and when we take this sixth card here, she only has 2 cards left, so she will just keep her spells and stay here for now. Now we move on, and it's now Blessing of Torag again, which is strength. So we could detect magic to see if the next exploration is safe for Seoni, but I think instead of my first exploration, I will reveal detect magic to heal Seoni, which is a d4 plus 1. Come on, let's roll something else than a 1 now. Yep, that's healing for you. So once again, 2 cards, only 2 cards. Let's see, here we go, 2 cards for Seoni. We have to shuffle these in. Whatever, doesn't really matter all that much. And Kyra will, yeah, she could explore actually. She's decent at killing these things. The problem is if we encounter the villain, but she could kill the villain. Let's see. 1 Blessing of the Gods, and he also has, does he have 2? Yeah, he has 2. Huh. So he could add to her check, and she could add to his check, and then Seoni could add to his check, and we could actually kill the villain and win this scenario. So let's actually, well, yeah, she doesn't get a free exploration, so we'll have to use a blessing. Nah, I will just stay here. Nothing else happens. Move on. Valorous again. He will explore. Yeah, he's close to death himself, so he will explore. And we know that is the boar. And I had a plan for the boar actually. Survival or wisdom 7 check. It's impossible for him. He cannot do this. I'm not gonna waste any blessings on this. So the boar has a combat value of 10 now. We reveal this to add our melee die, which is d10 plus a d8, and then I will use the blessing to add another d10 to my roll. So this should be plenty now. 2 d10s and 1 d8, and we have a +3 modifier as well. And that's 6, 8, that's just enough, that's 11. Luckily we did add this extra dice, but yeah, that's a 3, and a 2, so that's 8 plus 3 is 11, so the boar is killed, just barely. And he adds another card to his hand here. That's the Night Watch. Great. Perception is not something I need right now. I need survival or wisdom to temporarily close this if the villain would show up. So that was Valorous. Let's move on. Blessing of Lamashtu. That is bury this card to add 2 dice to a check to defeat a monster. That's actually good. We could copy this with a Blessing of the Gods if we encounter the villain. But yeah, Seoni has some cards left in her deck. She only has 4, so I have to be a little bit careful here. Let's see. There is nothing extra here on these scenario cards. Waterfront is just for weapons, or if you want to discard cards to explore, and I definitely do not want to do that. Undefeated monsters other than the villains or henchmen are banished. I don't think... have I failed to do this? I don't think so. Hopefully not. Yet again, I forgot to check the location specific rules here, but yeah, Seoni will explore. Let's go for it. And that is the large chest. Great. So that's the last good item there. Cash, lock, veteran. Check to defeat. Dexterity or disable, or strength and melee. The difficulty to defeat the barrier is increased by the adventure deck number of the current scenario. We don't have any number. If defeated, add 1d4 random weapons from the box to your hand. If undefeated, you may banish this barrier. So we're gonna have to use the dexterity for this, and that's okay for Seoni. She has d8 dice for the dexterity. We need 9. So first of all, a d8. I think 1d4 weapons. Is this could be big. This could be big. 1 blessing. Seoni has 1 blessing and Valorous has 1 blessing. I have to be a little bit careful here. 9 with d8s. Yeah, okay. Let's see, there's nothing here. Nope. Alright. Uses 1 of her blessings to add another d8. And I think Valorous uses his blessing to add another d8 to her as well. I don't have another d8 here, I think. See if I have any. No, not anywhere close. But okay, I will roll one of these again if I need to. So let's see, we need a 9. And that's 16, so that's fine. The blessings are gone, even though I didn't roll 3 dice. But yeah, we managed to do this. I don't know if this was worth it. I feel kind of safe now that we are going to be able to defeat the villain. So I could take a few extra turns to discard some blessings to actually see what's in this chest. 1d4 random weapons. Like I said, I don't know if the other card, the pit, actually is random or not. It just says draw 3 items. Maybe I could choose what items I want to take, but yeah. Alright, 1d4. Let's hope for good roll here then. Yeah, of course. Now it's a 4. But yeah, that's good. 4 weapons. Okay. Well, that was actually quite worth it. Unfortunately, pretty much only Valorous can make use of these weapons. Maybe if we are lucky and get a magical weapon or some type of mace for Kyra, but yeah. Let's hope for something good here. So 4 weapons. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Throwing axe. That's nothing that I want to keep. A quarterstaff. Again, not that good. A long sword. It's okay. And another quarterstaff. Well, that's bad. That wasn't worth it. It was not worth it, even though we got to draw 4 weapons. So she now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. She has to discard 3. She will discard all 4 of these, which is bad because now I could get to... I could shuffle those back in, and those don't do anything for Seoni. But yeah, alright. Adds 1 extra here for her hand, so she now has hand of 6. Actually, because of that, because I could shuffle these back in, I think instead... Well, no, let's do it. Let's do it. Alright, so this is her hand now. We move on. Let's see, it's Blessing of Gorum. Discard to add 2 dice to strength based combat check. Okay, that could be okay. Kyra. It's now Kyra's turn. Let's see. I think I should be able to do this without having to use this holy candle. So Kyra will not explore, but instead she will reveal the holy candle to try and heal Seoni again. So for better roll here. That's another 1. This is impossible. This is like the 5th one or something for the healing action. And now I have these stupid weapons in here as well that don't do anything. Don't do anything for me. Alright. Well, Seoni likes being damaged, it seems. Alright, 2 cards for Seoni. Let's shuffle those in, so she now has 5 cards again. As you can see, if we didn't have Kyra, I think Seoni would be in trouble. She would be in some real trouble here. So yeah. There we go. And Valorous has 5 cards as well, but he's a little bit more durable than Seoni, so I think it's fine. The Holy Candle is discarded. The turn ends, and let's see, Kyra draws 2 new cards. It's a guard and the aid spell, which is good. Alright, so we move on. Blessing of the Gods, let's just count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 turns left. 9 turns. Have to be careful here so I don't deck myself. These are the cards that Valorous has now. It could be dangerous to explore here. Could actually be quite dangerous to explore here. So I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to... This doesn't do anything for me. So I'm going to... Actually, this doesn't do anything for me either. I'm gonna gamble here, and I'm gonna discard both of these. I'm just not gonna do anything with Valorous. He's just gonna stay here, and he's gonna draw 3 cards. Oh man, that's bad. 3. We have these, so I have to explore next turn, otherwise Yeah. Oh man, no, that's bad. Poor Valorous. Alright, well, next turn. Seoni. Seoni explores. Should she give something to... she doesn't have anything with divine. Alright, so she explores. And that's the henchman. Great. Well, that's actually great. So, recharge a card of your choice. That would be... I think the Enfeeble, yeah. Recharge Enfeeble, and then we get to draw a card because of the scenario. And that is Blessing of the Gods. Great. Another great spell. And then... let's see. I really want to kill this, because what happens now is I kill this henchman and I get to immediately attempt to close this location, but because I know that there is a villain in there, that will not be successful, but all the other cards will be banished and only the villain will remain in the deck. So I can bide my time for a few turns, try to build up blessings, and then just kill the villain in one go. So yeah, because of that, I think I'm gonna use... well, actually, he's not that difficult, so I'm just gonna use the acid. No, not the acid arrow. Yeah, it's the same. Alright, so I'm gonna use the acid arrow. Which is arcane die, which is a d12, and then 2 d4s. And that is, well, actually, yeah, that's a bit dangerous, isn't it? I need an 8. I do have a modifier of +2. Yeah, it's fine. I'm using the acid arrow here on the bandit. So let's hope for the best here. And that's fine. That's a 4 on my d12, +2, that's 6, +2 from a d4, that's 8, so that's good enough, and then 4 here for 12. So yeah, the bandit is... the bandit is defeated, and then I get to attempt to recharge this arcane 6, so that's a d12 +2, and that's 9 +2, so that's success. Recharged acid arrow. Well, yeah, I forgot, I don't even have to attempt this. What am I think I've misplayed this a few times. She can recharge automatically, so she doesn't have to attempt this. But now we get to attempt to close this location. And for the Waterfront, summon and defeat a bandit henchman. So again, we have to face the same card here, which means first of all we have to recharge a card from our hand, and this time it's gonna be invisibility, I think. So we recharge that, and then the special scenario lets us draw this top card. I will take that. That is the burglar. And yeah, so now we have to defeat this bandit, and I will basically do the same thing again. Yeah, I will use the force missile, the same roll again, which is a d12 +2 d4s. Let's see here. And once again, it's fine. It's a 5 on the d12, and then a 2 and a 4. So that's plenty. That's it's 11 +2 is 13, so the bandit is banished again, and we have successfully closed the location. First we recharge the force missiles here. Now we have to check if there is a villain in this deck, and we know that there is. So here's the villain. So villain is now left. You leave the villain at the top of the deck, and then you banish the rest of the cards. Okay. I think that's how you do it. I will just pause and check this.